All right. So olha, Google que não, na campanha. No, yeah, yes, yes, ini Google also, yes, virtual joke. By the one question here and one question I can do. We have multiple. I mean, that's one question I give all the people all day. All right, so you have the up arm, right? I gave you the diagram for this already. That's an inverting up arm. How you know it? How you know it's an inverting up arm? Right? Because of the feedback and something else. Because of the feedback resistance and something else. 1.3 plus. Right. The non-inverting terminal connected to it. And the inverting terminal taking the input. That's okay? That's okay then? Excuse us out here, you can get that. Yeah. And here you have your feedback. You have your output going back into input. That's okay? These resistors, sorry, these op amps have what? A lower gain, right? Remember that? They have a lower gain and a higher bandwidth. Right. So there are a few things that we need to know because we got to be able to prove the formula for gain. Anybody remember it? What's the formula for gain of our op amp? Of this op amp? V out of V. No, that's the general formula. Minus RP by R2. Well, in this case, R2 over R1 minus, right? Why the minus? Because it's a inverting op amp, right? Okay. So let's do a quick little proof. Right? One thing I wanted to remember, you put real simple, right? What you're saying. Let me show you, you can always read it after, right? But this is the principle behind the proof. We know that gain is equal to V out over V in. How do we find voltage? Voltage is what? Voltage is current by resistance over current by resistance. Correct? Right. One thing I want you to remember how much current flowing back in there. How much current is flowing there? Plenty or a little bit? A little bit. Remember the resistance real high? Right? Resistance is extremely high, so the current is 0. Okay? So you see that X is what we call virtual earth. Right? It acts as an earth because no current going beyond it. Right? So it acts as a 0 voltage point. Are you okay with that? You get that? Yes? All right, so good. How do we find V out? So I would like to get our V out value. So V out, I'm going to connect here. I'm going to connect a voltmeter here. And I am going to connect a voltmeter where? I want to get the V out value. So remember, X is 0, right? So if I connect a voltmeter here and a voltmeter here, I'll get the V out value. You'll see that? Because V out is here and here is 0. Right? So the potential difference between V out and 0 is V out. Okay? So what's current flowing there? I2, and the resistance is R2. So B out is I2 by R2. That's okay? What about Bn? How do I get this Bn value? Well, I'll connect a voltmeter here, and I'll connect a voltmeter here. Right? What's the current flow in there? IR by R1. I1 by R1. But we have a slight problem. Look at the current directions. I don't know if you'll see that. Look at the current directions for I1 and I2. Opposite directions, right? So one should carry up, negative sign. Are they the same? Look at this circuit good. Are they the same? Is it the same current? What you get at? The feedback current coming here, coming here. When it reaches here, it can't go anywhere. Right? Because of the high resistance in the upper. So it's flowing here. So this I2 and I1 is the same except in opposite directions. So the I will cancel and you'll be left the negative sign. So the formula is minus R2 and R1. That's okay? So that's the way you find feedback. That's the way you find gain for inverting up. All right. So that's the way you find gain. I'll show you proof for it. We talked about this graph already. Remember this? As the gain drops, the bandwidth will increase. Right? So let's take a look at a small example here. What's the gain here? You can do it mentally. What's the gain here as a Zaria? What's the gain there? At this page, we want to have one more class tomorrow. Yeah. What's the gain at Zaria? Huh? I just find gain by input in a Zaria. Well, I just proved it 20. Right? It's minus R2 over R1. This is R2. And this is R1. How much you got? Minus 20. Minus 20. Right, that's area. We just proved the formula that. I'm so tired. Okay. Right, that's the formula. We just proved that. Are you okay with that? Good. So quick thing I want you to define, and then well, similar shape graph, right? The similar shape graph. Right? The shape will be something like that, right? Okay. Which one would it be? The red or the green? Red. Which one? Is it input in upper? Red. No, green. Green. Negative will be positive. So I'll catch you there. Or you get this value again, area. Or you get that horizontal part here. But that's nice number. Yeah, that's what's up? So you get that value. And it's supply, right? Positive and negative supply, right? Or you get this value underneath here. Huh? Or you get an x-axis value. Now what's something else? Or you get an x-axis value. Huh? Find the PN, the max and min PN, right? Max and min PN. Alright, nice. So that's the inverting of as an example, the want to just fill it out, right? Or the get inside out. I want to just talk about one application. Actually, Try part one. Don't draw it. Just try part one. While you pause, Saria, you can see anything. Why what the adjustment? Because it's not just what you go. Right up this. Just part one alone. I want to know the current flowing in the 300 ohm system. If I find current again, current is what? I really got tired. Okay, go ahead. Right, the faster the work, the faster your pension make it start, right? How much seems it up? Yeah, it's pretty nice. Nice. You don't get outside IR. Yes, you might get so we do two right? Well, what do we have here to start? Okay. Yeah, right. Yeah. All right, so in order for us to find I, we need V and we need R. Okay, we know R. We know R is 300 kilo ohms, right? But the problem we don't know V. So we need to find V out. V out is gain by Vn, correct? We know Vn is 0.8. We gotta find gain. So we're gonna divide the two resistors for the minus sign. Don't forget that. So it's minus 360. So that's 5 by 0.8, which is 4. It's so it's 360. So that's 60. But we have to find the gain. The gain is R2 over R1. It's not very that's yeah, it's an inverse in a pump, so it's minus R2 over R1. Minus 4. Yeah, minus 4, yeah. But now it was that before, right? Right. So therefore the current is minus 4 over 3 by 10. All that there. How much is that? Minus 1.33 by 10 to the minus. Okay. So upon the voltage, upon the out, right? So that's the small current that flowing. Okay with that? Alina? Seven? All right, Alina say no, so I'm gonna give Alina one now. Right? We have a slight problem here, Alina. What is this? Alina. Alina. Alana. Alana. Alina. Alina. Huh? Alina. It's Alina, right? Who is it? Alina? Oh. Alina, how we doing this here? We have a slight problem here. How many accounts you have there? Two. Two. One account feeding the next account. Right? That's an example. When you join this, that's an example of the cascade itself. Right? One feeding the next. So, Alina, you have the exciting job of trying to figure out the output. Really excited. Really excited. We have the input. That's all we have. We have the initial input. Right? So just give me the guidelines. We want to find quite here. Right? We want to find the final output. What's the first thing we have to do? Find the input. Huh? Find the input for which one? First one. They gave us already. Let's name them here. Find the huh? So Timothy says to find the gain for this one, and then find the gain for this one. What we gonna do with the gain, Nalia? What we gonna do with the gain for the first upper? You get to find what? We using the gain from the first one to find V out from the first one. And that V out equals to what, Soraya? The V out from the first upper will equal to what? E is equal to the Vn for the seconds. And then what's the next step, Nikita? Of the second one. And then last step is what we got. But the last step after we get it gain for the second one. Find the V out for the. Go ahead. Just one of us, and then we do the application of it. Huh? Number what? All right. No, Leah, bring back the arms. Speak the rule. Yes, it does. I'm going to one time. We will just go fast and bring them. Right? Let's see what you got. So the gain for one, I got -3. And the gain for the second one, I'll do it one time, that's -5. That's okay? So the first V out value would have been -3 by 0.3, which is -0.9 volts. That's okay? That's the first V out value. The second V out value that we are interested in will be -5 by -0.9. 4.5. Positive 4.5. That's okay? Does that cause saturation, Shivish? 4.5, is that saturated? It's 4.5 saturated. Why? It is smaller than the supply. Okay? The supply is plus and -9, right? This value falls within the range. Yeah. It will technically bring it back down. Because based on the input, which really yeah. But the only thing that otherwise it's a value higher than 9 So what you will get is this. So it's not like it was 19.5 and then it comes back. It can't get that. Okay, right? There's a slight shortcut. Here what you can do. To find the overall gain, you multiply total gain. And then you can use this input here. All right, make a note of that. For cascade cells, for cascade cells, cascade here. For cascade cells, the overall gain is the product of the individual gains. Of the individual gain. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I can do it. Sorry, I stand up right there. I was suggesting you won't here if you get the boats sometimes stand up right there and face out. Are you okay with that? All right. So Saraya. Page 28. All right. I want to explain something else.
What?
Right, consider.
Yeah, my face this way.
Alright, what you tell them? Such a Azaria Saturn. What you say? If you look at this circuit is what type of inverted because the non-inverted is connected to Earth and the inputs are run through the inverted terminal. That's okay? That's the key, right? Non-inverted connected to Earth, inverted terminal, all the inputs run through this. Right. This is a special type, or there's an application of inverting up arm. All right. Here's what we can do with this up arm. We can take 3 inputs and get 1 output. Okay. This type of amplifier is called a summing amplifier, right? Right. You don't have to draw it. Let me just explain how you get the output. Output is a combination of all of them. So V out is equal to the gain by, I'm gonna work it out one time, right? It's minus because it's inverted, right? So it's RF over R1 by V1 plus RF over R2 by V2. And last one, the killer is what? No, I'm not repeating it. I can listen. It would be what? RF over R3 by V3. You the feedback in this one, the one on top. Okay, so that's how you find, that's the way you find the gain of that's the way you find the gain of that's the way you find the output of a summing amplifier. All right, so that's just make a note of the formula alone now. Just make a note of the formula alone. We always be out. So that's what you had, that's summing amplifier. Yeah, that's what summing amplifier and write the formula. Huh? When we junior hall house and then at 27. Look at some module 1 and 3, right? Because technically this too good, right? We have one more thing to do. You don't have to follow it. Quite hard. Yeah, it should be it. But just make it next week. Yeah, we like it. Okay. After the basic, no, then class again. I'll do that from next from September. Right? But we can go home and sleep. So that's coming down, said and sleep, but we go home and sleep. Right? So I'll give all in those 4. All one time, you can call. Huh? Yeah, RF over R1. RF is the feedback, which is the one on top. Wait, why did someone do it as a PS? Not do it like so I think yeah, from that. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. All right, let's try a small example and we finish with it. No, no, non-evolution. We still have non-evolution and we don't. Right? Watch this here. Here's an example of a summing amplifier. Right? And your V out here, I'll work it out for you. Your V out is minus 200 over 40. I'll leave it out in kilo because they'll cancel, right? By V1 plus 200 over 400 by V2. Oh, 100. That's true. That's wrong on my part. That's this value I was like. Right? So that would be what? 5V1. 5V1 plus 2V. So exactly what it says. The output will multiply V1 by 5 and multiply V2 by 2. But minus 2. Okay? However, you write it. If you write it like me, minus on the outside, or you can do it individually and write it like that. No matter. It don't matter. Once you have the minus sign in the form. No. Right? Non-invertent. You know the first thing all the ones in September. You don't remember, you don't understand that.
That's what we don't remember.
All right. And here's a summon. Just find the V out here and we're done with it. No, we're done with it. No, we're done with inverted. Find V out. So after all, we could. Are we done?
Yeah, I got another look at it.
Oh, she go play. I have a team, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who else have a team?
Me and I will go.
One.
Sorry, I was shocked.
Who's the Vikashan? And Timothy. Who's the next one?
I.
Arianan.
Take the set.
Who else?
Iran are.
He come in?
Yeah.
Who else? Azaria. Huh?
The same. I just put up.
Oh. Good play, what? Azarian, Alina, and Sarayan, and did I have play? No? Right, so it's 6, so we gotta get. Huh? Yeah, 5 factorial games. Huh? Yeah, we gotta run about. Oh, we will run about it. I forget to bring 2. That's all. Now we're getting 3 back.
Yeah, but
Then
I
one
have
more.
2 and I got 4.
Right. Yeah, we have 5 factorial games.
So 5 factorial is like our share too.
5 factorial, no, so the wrong thing.
Yeah, 5 factorial is all common drum thing.
5, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15 games. And then wrong of it. Everybody paying everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the final lap. There's no time going, right?
Yeah,
We'll do our round robin first, who win the most games win. Right, but here's how you're winning, right? When you win, your points is from a point to win by.
but I again, I point.
When a point to win, when at that point we
Yeah, so not something go to like winner about like yeah, like I guess I'm like
like 1 point again. It's not going to be surprised that I already might put it out.
Nah, tomorrow I can do the SFS tomorrow, right? It's almost up in the shop. If so, I'll bring it there. I think I'm bringing the machine tomorrow and shit, not all again.
That's okay.
This one different. This is not parallel. The same formula.
Yeah, same formula. And five. We'll talk about it first, right? Needs to be school. Chapter, now we can see. Okay. Right, let's do it again. So you have P out is equal to minus 200 over 50 multiplied by V1, which is 0.2, plus 200 over 40 by 0.8, plus 200 over 100 by 0.5. How much is that? Minus 5.8. Okay, that's it. Right? This is an example of like if you have an amplifier, right? And you have different jacks like a microphone and different inputs plug into it. This is an example, a mixer. This is basically how a mixer is working. Okay, one output based on the different inputs. Anybody writing there? As I was paying attention. I thought your phone was dead. Excuse me, I can see you know.
Just
I know what she's coming. Right, last one earlier. Last one and we done. What type of Soraya, since you're on the phone. What type of you watching number here, right? What?
no.
Oh, isn't the watch it good. Which one connected to ground? Inverting or the non-inverting terminal? Right? Inverting connected to ground. And non-inverting has the input. See that? So this is a non-inverting, and the formula for gain is what? 1 plus RF and RI, and I wanted to prove it the same way from above. Right? No, you can read up on the question you got. Then the handout, right? Are you okay with that? So that's a non-inverting. How do you know it as a area? I know the bill still on your phone. I say Azaria. Azaria, how do you know that non-inverting of that? Huh? What's not connected to the earth? What's not connected? Don't message your mother, right? The non-inverting Azaria. Right? It's inverting connected to earth and the non-inverting, right? And the non-inverting is right? Right? All right. One question, another good stuff, right? Right, let's go. Right, asking 4 people. 4 to get it right, we're done. Number 1, Azaria. What type of op-amp is this and what is the gain? Nobody else, please. What type of op-amp is that and what is the gain? It's non-inverting and the gain is what? Well, logging to 2 or something.
Okay. What is the number?
350. 6 wrong.
7.
7. It's a 1 plus RF and RI. Because it's a non-inverting, right? So that's 1 wrong. Yeah, that was wrong.
Yeah, you feel you want to cut.
Nikila, what type of op-amp is it? Non-inverting, once again. Shivish. What type of op-amp is this one, Shivish? Huh? Inverting? Correct. Once again. All wrong so far. No, not right. What's the answer? Not 4. Minus 4. Right? Each one of them will get 1 wrong. Right? Some get all right in this one.
Can I ask you now?
Alina. Right?
Wait, what? 26. Yeah, 26.
26.
Nice.
So no, what again? Next one. This one here is a special type of op-amp. It's a non-inverting op-amp, but the gain here is 1. Right? And I reach the plus. So it's 1 plus 0, right? And these are the top one. All right. Orange is higher gate for now. All right. So we'll try and do a question in quiz now. In the, right? All right, because it makes no sense.